Okay,
Oh,
there
very
she
good.
is. Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna let Heather go first because Heather has a lot to say. So just explain who you are, tell us about yourself, and get a little bit about your story. And then you can just continue on with what you have to say.
Awesome. Hi, guys. So excited to be talking tonight. A little bit about me. My name is Heather, and I joined this business because I wanted more, like all of us do. 6 months ago, 2 months before, COVID hit, I joined cosmetology school. And, I was going to school for 4 days a week, only had 3 days a week home. And it was an hour to school, an hour back home. So, that's gas money. And I have my little family at home, and I want to spend as much time as I can with them. I have like a husband and 3 fur babies. That's my little family. So I didn't want to spend those 3 days somewhere else and not spend time with my family. So I needed more. So when COVID hit, when COVID hit, I got bored at home because we were doing everything online, and my husband was an essential worker. So I came across, Caroline. We were friends. I don't know how we became friends, probably over a host to post, but I just saw her one day after watching her do her thing silently. And I messaged her one day and I was like, okay, I see you. I want to do what you do. And I signed up right on the spot, and it has been the best decision I've made since then. So today I just want to talk about balancing life and, business, because last month in June, I really fell off and it was really bad, and I don't want that to happen again. So this is more me. The Zoom feels like more for me than it is for y'all, because let me slap myself around. So I went back to school last month, after, the whole COVID thing was lifted. And I didn't have like a set schedule for my business and for school. So I'd wake up in the morning, go to school, probably get host to post up, maybe like at least 5 host to post up. And then I would post here and there on my stories, but I wasn't going like I should, like full speed. So I fell short last month, and prelims hit the other day, and I was not happy because I wanted my paycheck to be so much more than what it was, and it could have been, but I fell off. So this month I realized like something had to change. So I started pre-planning my posts. I'm going to show y'all a little bit of what I do to like schedule my day out, like what I need throughout the day. I have a few things because I like to write down and type out stuff. I have me a calendar. I like to write down all my Zooms, all the trainings and stuff. I have a binder that I hold all of my charts in. Like I have my charts. I have my current chart, rank that I'm going for, and the next one after that, because I don't want to, settle. I want to push for that next one. And I have all my girls who are shooting for a promotion. I have their charts as well, and I'm constantly filling that every day. And it helps me motivate me every day to look at that, because like I see clear of what I'm doing, where I'm going. I got this cute little notebook from TJ Maxx, and this is where I put like all my notes. Like I'll take a page and I will put things to do, like a task list, and I'll bullet point it, mark them out when I'm done, write down all my potentials, DTs, LCs, write down all my host to post. And I like to get at least 5 host to post up for distributors, LCs, and giveaways. So that's helped me a lot. I have all the notes in here from all the Zooms. I have pages in here from summer camp. It's just, there's a lot. I also wanted to talk about, hold on, let me open this back up. I downloaded an app yesterday. I went to bed last night and I was like, I need to be doing more. I feel like I'm not doing enough. This is what it looks like. It's called Habit Tracker. And what I did, well, now it's freezing up. Of course, because I'm on Zoom, it's going to freeze up. It looks like, you're not going to be able to see it, but it looks like that. And I put all my tasks in for the day. and I mark them off, and it just tells me like a weekly summary of everything that I get done and like my progress. So say I do an interaction post today and tomorrow, and then I skip a day, like it's going to tell me how many days like I've done that task. It is called Habit Tracker. And let's see, I don't know if y'all can see it right here. Well, wait. Yeah, it's that one right there. I don't know if y'all can see that. It's kind of a glare.
How do you spell it?
Habit Tracker, HABIT. Here, I'll type it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Habit Tracker. Thank you, Caroline. Let's see. And also, I just want to talk about having time. There's 24 hours in a day, 7 days a week, and anyone has time to work this business. Let's see. Why is it spazzing? Okay. So, like for personal development, I like to squeeze in my podcast, like YouTube, like Zoom trainings, ebooks. I like to listen to those when I'm in the shower, when I'm driving or cleaning, just so I'm making time for that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have right now for that. I'm going to give it over to Haley. So take it away, sister.
Okay, so I want to talk about everything Instagram. That's where I work my business the most. So that's what I know most about. So first I want to talk about like the Instagram algorithm. So I did a whole bunch of research before like I even figured it out, because you have to kind of figure it out to know where you're gonna get yourself into. So basically the Instagram algorithm is, to say you post a picture, Instagram is only gonna show it to 10% of your followers. So like say if you have 1,500 followers, it's only gonna show it to 150 people, which is why in our dailies list there's interacting and growing your network. And when I mean by interacting, not just like putting a few like emojis under someone's picture, but like actually commenting something, so you could like build a relationship with that person. Like you could just easily start scrolling and just put some heart eyes. Only thing you're gonna do is like the comment, but you can easily just say, oh, I like this skirt, or I like this, or where'd you get that? You start a conversation, and maybe the next time they like see your photo on their feed, they're gonna like it. The more people that like it, the more it goes to other people, the percentage goes higher. So that's the one thing. So I actually want to show how I do my Instagram stories. So I'm gonna share my screen, but let me get on this first. So I'm gonna show how I do like the little copy and pasting on my stories. I know a lot of people had asked how I did that, and also like how I make my story slides. So I'm just gonna like reference off of one thing, show you where I get everything else, and like some like little tips and tricks that you maybe have not known. So I'm just gonna share it. Okay, let me see if I can make this the host. Okay. Okay. I think I did it. Okay, can y'all see anything? Okay, I think you can see it now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go on my story. So first, I'm just gonna start off by like how I make my Instagram stories. So first thing I always do is I always go on Pinterest. I find everything from Pinterest, whether it's like inspiration from my story slides or just like backgrounds. So I'm gonna make one about coffee. So I like to have something with like an aesthetic in it. So I'll search up like coffee aesthetic wallpaper, and stuff like this will pop up. So I like to use stuff that has like a collage that's together, something like this. But usually Pinterest doesn't let me like save it to my actual phone. So I'll just like screenshot it. I'll just like hold it down and slide it, then screenshot So if you have like an iPhone, it'll work best like this. But if like you have an Android, I think it'll do the same thing, but you might just have to like save it to your photos. So then the next thing I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna go to over. And mind you, like everything I do is free because like my grandma calls me Bargain Bin Betty because I don't like to waste money on anything. So first thing I do, obviously go to image, and I'm gonna go to stories. Now I'm kind of gonna go a little fast to make sure that I get everything in, but like most likely because it's recorded, you could just watch this back afterwards. So I like to have it like blurred out a little bit so you can add words to it. So I'm gonna tap the picture, click edit, and then I'm just gonna scroll all the way over to blur. You can either do blur or tint. I can show you both ways. So I like to blur it just a little bit so you can still see it, but it's not, you know, like gone all the way. Or you can click tint and then click a color. You do the white, black. You can also like pick a color. I don't know if I'm just stupid, but I figured out I couldn't get brown. It's literally just orange and you just make it darker. But I don't like it brown. So I'm just gonna do like a blur and do a little bit like that. I like to put it on like 30 because it's not too much. And so I'll leave it like that. Now, one thing I do know that for people out there who do not want to pay for it monthly, but want to be able to get a little bit of like, you know, something to put on there that's like extra. So there's a 7-day free trial. So I did the free trial and I was able to get like a few like fonts and our pre-made stuff, which I'm gonna like show in a few minutes, our pre-made stuff. So once I use it for my stories, I was able to have it. And plus I also did get Instagram stickers too. And I'll show that also, but I was able to save those and keep those on that. This is over. You can get it on Apple Store or whatever phone that you have. So basically the one I'm referencing off of is one that I made the other day. So this is like a coffee one. So I put like coffee challenge, and I'm gonna keep it like this. But I like to put stuff in corners so that I can have like extra stuff on the screen. But I like to have it to where it's like angled just a little bit to emphasize the actual like words, to where it doesn't look like it's like just, I don't even know the word, like to make it stand out almost. So I'll like double tap it twice for it to go down and you'll see it stands out even more. Or sometimes you can do a color to make it stand out even more, especially if it's like a different color. But like I said, I have these stickers over here that I actually get from Etsy. Now, to put stuff like this over here, you have to have like the pro version. But in order to put these on there, you have to pay for it, like I said. So I did a 7-day trial. I got some stickers off of Etsy. I can show that also. Yeah, let me actually show that. So right here, it's not even that much. Like sometimes you could invest in your business a little bit. So you click Instagram stickers for stories and a bunch of them will pop up. Like this one's like 190 of them for only like $6. There's some for like 98 cents. There's some for $4. There's some $3. And you could get a whole bunch of them and just add them to your story. I save them on your following, on my files. But if you don't want to pay for stickers, I have a way that you can do that. So I always go to pick art once it loads. So if I don't feel like paying for anything, then I'll just go to the plus button, scroll all the way to the bottom. This first one with the checkerboards, that's the transparent one on PixArt. I'll click stickers. Like earlier I made one. So I'll click iced coffee and all these iced coffees will pop up. So say if I wanted to use this one, I'll put this on there, click apply, and then I'll click next, and then I'll save it to my photos. So then once I go back to over, the only thing I have to do is click image, photo, click that, and then it's automatically on there from PixArt. So it's just there to like, if you don't want to pay for stickers, I like to specifically pay for them because I just think they're so much cuter, but you can easily get anything off of there. Like one of my favorite ones that's on here, I don't know if it's still on here or not, but it's like a girl drinking coffee, and I like to always add those. And apparently anytime that I add that one, everyone, like, it gets the most interaction. So I'll put like girl drinking coffee, or like girl and coffee, or something like that, and it'll just show up different ones like this. I use the one in the middle right here a lot. This is my favorite one to use, so I always use her because I feel like this represents who I am. So I'll just use her a lot, and like I said, just save it to my photos, and then I'll just come back over here, click that, click image, and I'll just add her in the corner. So now with like the words and stuff in the middle, I'm not really gonna type it all the way out, but I'm gonna like say like coffee models needed, but I'm gonna have like a description in the middle, like directly in the middle is gonna say like, I'm looking for some babes who like coffee, like who want to lose like 5 to 10 pounds, but then I'm gonna put that right directly in the middle, but I just don't feel like typing all that right now because I have a lot to get through. So I like to match my photo to the aesthetic, meaning like, because this is like really brown, so I'm gonna kind of make it like an orangey type color to match it to caramel, because I like caramel coffee. So I might lighten it up a little bit, and it still have like the stuff on there, and then I'll keep it that way. And I might add some stars, I might add some extra stuff on it. But yeah, basically to reference off what I'm going off of, this is what I made the other day. That's technically what I'm referencing off of. But I didn't want to type all of that. So another thing that I learned, let me exit out of that. So if you click transparent and you want to add like stickers to your story, and like say you're like making your coffee or whatever, and so you'll click story, and then I'll go to images again, and maybe I want to add her to my story, and then I'll put that right there, and then maybe I'll add the picture of the coffee again, just randomly, and then I'll put that right there. I did one of that this morning, and then my favorite font is Lemon Milk. It's a weird name, but I just like the font and how it is. So I'll put like skinny iced coffee, and I'll just have it like this, to where it's like right on the side or right here. Sometimes I'll add the coffee, sometimes I won't. I usually like to add other stuff like that. So whenever you're trying to add it to your story, like say like a coffee video, so all you have to do is you make this on a transparent one, and you'll click copy. So then when I go to my Instagram and I want to add like a coffee video, I have no idea what my coffee videos are, so I'm just gonna like pick a random picture. So you'll click copy paste, and then it'll just show up right there. And like that's how you also add like results on the story slides. Whether you're talking, you want to add something like a little thing on there. You also can use like GIFs. Also, GIFs are really good too. Like for journaling Zooms, I like to type in journal, or I'll type in notebook. Anything that has to do with like what I'm posting about, I'll just type it in a word. Like I don't like to be all extra and be like, oh, looking for journaling types of GIFs. I'll just put journal or a notebook, and it'll just pop up, and I can just add that. So I have some like saved in my actual like projects that I use. Like I used this one this morning, and I had like the background lifted off, like the little kind of like orangey shadow behind it, just to make it look better. And like these, like the corporate approved results, I added those, and I just added it to the slides. But that's basically how I make my story slides plus the business slides. They're all the same. I do the same thing with all of them. And I mean, it's pretty simple, pretty easy. That's all I do. I only use Over and PixArt. And but yeah, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Okay, so I know me and Heather did say that we wanted to say some words of wisdom, because we always like to do that. So Heather, do you want to go first? You muted.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so I have this little analogy that I shared with our team the other day, but I don't know if anyone else did this, but I remember in elementary school, like we used to sell like these boxes of chocolate, like each one was $1 for like a fundraiser. And like everybody was so excited about selling these boxes and they wanted to be the first to sell them. And after you get one box gone, you get another one. You go get another one and sell them. Now I want you to think about this. Think about those boxes of chocolates as your charts. One box of chocolate, one box, another box of chocolate, another box, until you get all those boxes of chocolates gone, until your chart's filled up and you work on another one. So that just came to me one day. So yeah, I just thought I would share that. You've been preparing for this like all your life, like since you were in school. And I just thought that was just a really neat thing. It just came to me one day, like God was telling me to tell y'all that. So yeah, there's my little analogy. Like, y'all are awesome. Go sell your box of chocolates.
How cute. Okay, so mine's like a little different. I'm kind of gonna be like really red. Put your seatbelts on, hold yourself down because I have a lot to say. So the other day, I was like scrolling through my stories and I saw Jade was talking on her story because I always watch Jade because I'm obsessed with her. So she was saying that her mentor told her one day that your income is it's like your adult report card. And that like blew my mind. And of course, like so many things just went through my head. So here's what went through my head. So basically when you have a report card and your grades aren't that good, if you're not happy with it, you can change it. And like you do what you want when you want to change it. You do everything that you have to do so you can change it. So think about this. Okay. When you first start school in like pre-K, you're starting to learn how to read, you're learning how to write. It's basically like the foundation of where you're going to be like later in life, right? Think of the first rank, which is distributor, as pre-K. You're just starting off, you're trying to figure out everything that's going on, and then you're finally like, okay, I'm ready. I'm out of this like young stage, so I'm going to move up and I'm going to rank up. It's just like in the business, we want to rank up. We're getting older, we're getting used to things, and we're ready to like move up and rank up. So I literally made like this whole like analogy thing. So like when you're in 5th grade going to middle school, it's like a really like awkward stage. Like you know what you're doing, but then you kind of don't know what you're doing. So like that's like executive and Ruby. Like you're on the fence, like you're just getting into leadership and you're like, okay, this is it. Now we can go to high school. High school could still be like really awkward, but it's kind of like, I would say you finally got up to being more mature. So that's diamond. So then you get to college. That's like triple and like double and all of that. And then you finally got there and you're like, okay, I'm almost there. I'm almost to where I want to be. Then graduating college is like presidential. And then right after that, like career, that's like ambassador, double ambassador, like black diamond and all of that, because that's like where you want it to be. You wanted to graduate and you wanted to make it that far. And it's like the growing steps. It's like ranking up. You start from the bottom, like where your foundation is, and then you keep growing. So that's what I thought of it. But also, if you're trying to get to the next grade, you have to show up every day. Basically, like in school, you have to have perfect attendance. You have to show up to school. You have to study. You have to do your homework. That's no different from what we do. You show up every day. You do your dailies and you do everything that you're supposed to do. Like literally just show up every day and then you'll be fine. So another thing that I wanted to say was like I'm not trying to just like how can I put it? I don't want to just talk to people who are like just new or just like need to hear this, but I'm not only am I going to talk about like the team, but I'm also talking to leaders. Like I do hear a lot of leaders that say like, well, my team isn't working or my team isn't working, I can't promote. Like you can't blame anybody else. You can't blame your failures on anyone else. You also have to do your things too. You can't blame it on your team. Like you have to show up every day. If you're not showing up, then hell, they're not going to show up either. So I mean, are you really expecting them to work? But another thing, not only leaders, y'all, teammates, y'all, this is for y'all too. Like, I know half of people always like to say, well, like, when no one's showing up and I feel like this business isn't working, because I feel like it's not meant for me because it's not doing what I want it to do. Are you sure the business isn't working, or are you just not working? Like, I don't understand. So basically, what I'm trying to say is you have to just show up every day. You have to show up every day, do everything that your leader is telling you to do. And if you're not showing up, then nothing's really gonna happen. Like, just like that's like the best way I can explain it. Because 99.9% is definitely the fact that you're not working. Because if this business can do so much for other people, then why can't it do it for you too? Most likely it's just because you're not doing what you're supposed to do. So show up. And what I mean by showing up, get on power hours, get on Zooms, get on trainings, get on everything. Like, do what you have to do, and no excuses behind it, because the more excuses you have, the more it'll set you back. So another thing I wanted to bring up, for personal development, I like to listen to Steve Harvey. He is like a motivational speaker. I didn't know that. And he said one time, like, he wakes up at 5 a.m. and people are like, well, why do you wake up at 5 a.m.? Like, what's the whole point? Like, you're a millionaire, you can do what you want. He said, by the time you wake up at 7 a.m., Wall Street has already been open for a couple of hours. They're making money while you're sleeping. By the time you could have been up, hustling and making money too, but you're asleep because you decided you didn't want to sacrifice anything because you want your precious sleep. So a lot of people have the millionaire mind, but not the millionaire like work ethic. I can't talk. Like, I wake up every morning at like 6 a.m. I like get up, I do my devotional, I read my Bible, and I get on power hours. Now, power hours are very important. I felt like if I wasn't doing, and I do walk them out every day. And if I feel like if I don't get on power hours in the morning, then my day is off. I feel like I'm not getting my tasks done, because if I do it throughout the day, it's not going to happen. So I just want to say, if you're not hopping on power hours, it's okay. Now, I do want to say this. Now, your team can put out a power hour or whatever for you, just so you can have time to put out, some tests. But if you don't show up after you say you wanted to show up, then like, what does that mean for you? Like, what's going to happen? Because at the end of the day, I was raised that I can't worry about what anyone else is doing. At least I know that I'm showing up and that I'm doing what I have to do. So then I'll get rewarded for it, because I know that I'm showing up regardless. So that's kind of all I wanted to say. And just another thing, just off topic, but like, even though I'm not talking about like Facebook or anything, I just want to bring it up just a little bit. So on Facebook, if you're sharing things on Facebook, like sharing like funny things or stuff that makes no sense, or stuff that does not need to be shared on your page, that makes you look off when someone tries to come to your page, it really will mess up your business. Not only just because it doesn't look good, but it really like shows your friends that post that you just shared is more important than yours. So if you posted something about the business, but then 2 minutes later you shared something that you thought was funny, obviously they're going to see that thing that you shared the most, because that's going to be more important. And also with like copying someone's post on I don't know about Instagram, but on Facebook, I know that if you copy someone's like post word for word, and you like copy and paste it within like an hour or the same day, it not only will it block yours, but it'll block the other person. So you won't have that much interaction with the post that you thought you were, because obviously it's the same thing and it can't do that. So at least try to save it in your notes somewhere, maybe post it a day or two later, change up the wording, change up the emojis, and just do that. But taking a screenshot, I mean, yeah, you could take a screenshot, but it's still like the same thing. Like, even if someone posted about like a business opportunity and they're doing a life post, and like they're doing a life post and you copy it from word for word, it's not you, it's the other person. And it's not going to work out when people come to your page and be like, oh, that's not her. That's definitely not her. Because people can read you. You don't think they can, but they know everything. So if they come to your page and they read something that they know is not you, they'll be like, I don't know who she is. I don't know anything about her. So there's no way. So that's all I had to say. But does anybody have any other questions? or anything you want to say, you can put in the comments now. This went really quick. Where's the question? Heather, do you see the question?
Yeah, I see one. I see one that Caroline sent. How have you enrolled 2DT since Monday? How many applications did you get today again? Talk about that. Okay, so the past 4 days I was able to get 2 distributors. I'm constantly doing live posts, opportunity posts. Like I post them every day. I switch it up a little bit. I'm making separate like status on Facebook, like, hey, business is booming, looking for 6 people. Here's my application, just something short and simple. I've been getting host to post up like crazy. It was crazy today because I got 15 applications today, and I've never got that many in just over a course of a few hours over one host, like DT host to post. That's crazy to me because I was sitting like doing my school at home and boom, 15 applications. So that was something. And I always post on my story slides. Is like first thing I do when I wake up in the morning, I go to the story slides that I want to post. Like I save them that night before and I go post them as soon as I wake up. So throughout the day, everybody's going to see like my opportunity little post.
Oh wait, can I say one more thing?
Yes.
Okay, so dealing with Instagram and Instagram stories, whenever you're like posting on your story, don't do all story slides. Don't spam it. My favorite saying is be the story slide. I have to be the story slide. I don't like story slides unless it's like boom in your face out there, because that gets more interaction. But like when I post on my story, I'll post what I'm doing in the morning. Like if I'm doing my devotional, maybe I'll put that on there. First, I always post coffee because everyone notices about that. So when I do post about my coffee, and then maybe I'll do like 2 or 3 slides right after that, but only if I didn't explain it when I posted it at first. So if I just made a video of me making coffee and I had like no description of what it was, then I'll put some slides, a couple of them, just explaining what it is and some results. Or if I physically get on my story and I talk about it, then I don't actually put story slides. There are days where I don't even use story slides unless it's my actual story on like how I started in the business or something like that. But even then, I do a little bit of that, but I physically get on my story and I talk. And I show people that I'm real. Yeah, I get on my story and I talk to my followers like they're my best friends. Like they know everything that's wrong. I ask for advice about everything. That gets more interaction. If you're like trying to figure out how to get more views on your Instagram stories, just get on your story and talk, put some polls on there. Like the other day I asked, was Duncan worth it? You wouldn't believe how many people voted on that one. And that got like 100+ views on my story. That's like the most I've ever had on my story. But just get on your story, show your face. Also like on your profile, show your face, don't post anything that's like about products. The most I post about products on my like feed is literally like the coffee. Nobody knows that it works. I want them to dig deep down in my Instagram and figure out what I do. I want them to look at my story and see what I do. But not only do I go on my story about the business, but I also post about like random stuff, like what I got from Target the other day. Like people actually want to see that though. So yeah.
I'm using that interaction idea next. That is amazing.
Yo, literally, I got on my story today. Yo, my Facebook was deactivated because some guy got upset that the samples weren't free and he decided to report me. So I got on my Instagram and I talked about it. And people were like, you're kidding. No, I'm not kidding. People want to hear like what's happening. Like I get on my story. I ask them questions like, what do you think about this? Do you think I should get this outfit or that outfit? Like they're my best friends. Like I don't think of myself as like a salesperson. I think of how do you say like an influencer, which is why I call my influence like the influence application. Like I'm not a salesperson. I never was. So I can't sit there and sell something. I'm going to sit there. I'm going to influence you to buy this coffee, but I'm not going to force it down your throat like a regular salesperson would. because I like to build relationships with people. And then because I built that relationship with them and like they comment, I comment under their stuff too by just interacting. They're like, it's much better for them whenever I do ask them if they want to put up a host post or whether they want to buy something. And that's how I get my DTs, just by me being me and just talking. Just talk. It doesn't matter. Whatever's going on in your day, something made you mad, go vent to your story. I'm sure they want to hear it. People are nosy. They don't care. They just want to know. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Does anybody have any more questions? Oh, another thing. I think one more thing I want to talk about, and then we're done. So like, I only message for post to post on Instagram. I forgot to say this earlier. So when I just message for a host to post, that's when I give them more. Let me go back. So whenever I tell them about the giveaway, and they're like, okay, well, how do I enter? Usually I would just send them one picture and be like, oh, just post this and just put open your wall. But I don't do that. I give them options. So I have slides for DT, hair, skin, nails, and coffee. And I send them all three. And I say, okay, I'll give you a few options to choose from, and I'll let them choose which one they want to use. Because I felt like no one was putting it up, because obviously one person may not feel comfortable with putting anything about the business up, but maybe one person may be comfortable about the coffee, but because I sent them the wrong one, because it's what I wanted to send them, that they're not going to put it up on their story. Because it's like me basically telling them that you need to put this on your story. So I just send them a couple of options. They choose which one they want to do. That's also another way how I've gotten DTs, and a lot of potentials, because they see that I not only do I have the business opportunity, but I do have coffee and hair growth stuff. And they're like, oh, I actually signed a DT last month that way. She was like, wait, you make money from your phone? I was like, yeah, that's what I do. And she signed up right on the spot. I have different ways of how to do things. And I think that way works the best for me. So yeah. So does anybody else have any questions?
I have a question.
Okay.
How do you put, like, when you're trying to talk to somebody and sell something to them, how do you like put it in words of what kind of tips can you give me? Like if it's if they need distress or something, I know that, but like how much and what should I put in that?
Like whenever they ask like how much it is and about like the 3 months and stuff?
No, like once you first text them and let them know about the products because they're interested.
Okay. So like if someone like swipes up on my story and they say, well, like, what is this? Like, I want more information. I'll say, hi, thanks for reaching out. I love this coffee. I drink it every morning. Depending on whatever product it is, always give like a little description of the products. If you don't have any scripts, always ask your upline. Or if that doesn't work, then you can always go to your website. There's always like little descriptions to like find out what you can say. I always give like a little description, not too long. I don't always make it too long, because if it's too long, they won't read it. So I try to make it short, sweet, and simple. Like, say if someone messaged me about coffee, I'm going to say, thanks for reaching out. Based about the coffee, like, do you like creamier coffee? Do you like darker coffee? Very short and sweet. And then they'll say whether, okay, I like creamy or I like dark. If they like creamy, then I'll recommend keto coffee. If they like darker coffee, then I'll say skinny brew. I say, okay, well, I'll recommend our skinny brew, and then I'll give like a little short description. How does this, and that? It's helping me do this. Like, I've lost like a lot of weight from it. And then I'll send my results if they want it. I say, well, do you want to see my results? If they say yes, then I'll send it. And I usually say, well, do you have any questions? Because I feel like if I shorten out the conversation to just like a regular script, and then once they like get the actual products and they had like some kind of like heart issue and they didn't tell me, and then everything goes south. So rather them ask the questions, yeah, the conversation does not like take that long. Yeah, I know we want them to like buy now, but I'd rather them be like, okay, so what questions do you have? Like, do you have any concerns or anything?
Right.
And then you can.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
No,
you.
go ahead.
I was just saying, right?
Oh, okay. But I think that's pretty much it. Just like give a little description, or just like ask them what kind of questions they have, because you never know what kind of like health issues they have. So just do that, and whenever they're like ready, just go on with the rest on however you do everything else.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Does anybody have any more questions? What about TikTok? Oh, let me tell you. I just started on TikTok, so not that much. Like, I have a couple of videos. I did a coffee video, and I did like one like business one, and then everything else is just like whatever's trending. What I do know what works is whatever's like on your For You page, whatever trend is there, try to do that one. And when you do that, it'll have more views on it. But like, Heather, do you want to say anything about TikTok? Because we both just started on TikTok.
Okay, TikTok. I love TikTok. Recently I went and I've been making some videos like, hey, do you want to make money from your phone? Do what I do? Application, Instagram. I did a giveaway one, and I've had a few people reach out to me, like they'll DM me on Instagram, be like, hey, giveaway, I'm from TikTok, and you know, you're expanding your TikTok or your audience through TikTok and Instagram, because the algorithm on TikTok is just, wow, like, it's crazy. So yeah, if you are comfortable with TikTok, I highly recommend.
Definitely. I get a lot of reach outs from TikTok. Just like by doing like random things like dances get you the most views. You may look crazy, but it doesn't matter because they don't care. They don't care whether you look crazy or not. But does anyone have any more questions? If not, I think we're gonna end it just a little bit earlier. Heather, do you have anything you want to say?
I don't. Thank y'all for hopping on and talking to us and listening to us. And, you know, July's going to be a great month, and
Definitely.
let's go.
I can feel this month is going to be promotion month for a lot of us. So let's just pick up the ground running, and let's just start now. If you haven't decided, decide now that this is the month for you and you're going to promote, and then that's it. So let's go run for it. But yeah. So the recording is going to be up. I think Caroline's